Good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm going to do an experiment today with my son, Ben. The name of the experiment is called Sound Stopper. Sound waves travel in long lines and vibrate through different materials. So what makes a room soundproof? Often we can hear sounds through thick and heavy-duty materials, and I have 4 different materials that we're going to use to show that. This lab explores how sound vibrates through various solids. So the materials that we're going to use, first of all, we're going to use a paper towel, then a piece of notebook paper, a sweatshirt, and a cookie sheet. So now we'll begin. Hey Ben, you want to turn the music on?
Yep, hi everyone, my name is Ben. I am assisting my mom today with her experiment. So I'm going to play a song and Miss Sandy is going to tell us what she hears the difference from the sound wave. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes. Okay. First thing, a paper towel, kids.
Bum, 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 ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, run in the sand. Hey, bum, bum, got any grapes?
Okay, now, what did you hear there? I heard that the words were very clear because the paper towel is very thin. So our next object will be a piece of typing paper. You ready?
Yep.
Bum, ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, run in the sand. Hey, bum, got any grapes?
So what did you hear that time? The paper was a little thicker than the paper towel that we used, and I heard it just as clear as I did the paper towel. So our next object might be a little bit difficult because it's going to be a sweatshirt. You ready, Ben?
Yep.
All right.
You ready, set, go.
Duck story.
Bum, ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, run in the sand. Hey, bum, got any grapes?
Now, since our sweatshirt is quite a bit thicker than the paper towel and the notebook paper, even though you could still hear it, it was a bit muffled because of the thickness of the sweatshirt. Our last object that we'll be using will be a cookie sheet. See if you can hear the difference.
Ready?
Ready, Ben?
Yep, let's do it.
Ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, run in the sand. Hey, bum, got any?
Did you hear the difference? The cookie sheet is a lot thicker than all the different objects that we used. So that made more of a muffled sound, so that was a different sound wave that we heard. Now Ben is going to read a little bit about the experiment. Listen up.
Now, we experienced a lot today, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a scientific explanation of what happened. Sound waves move through the air in a straight line. When sound reaches an object, just like light, it can either be reflected or absorbed. You have probably heard reflected sound waves before called an echo. Harder objects are more likely to reflect sound waves. When you played the song with the cookie sheet in front of the speaker, the music was more likely to bounce back towards you. Your partner probably heard a more distorted, faint version of the song because this sound waves had trouble vibrating through the cookie sheet. Some objects absorb sound waves. When you held the paper in front of the phone, the song was absorbed by the paper. Then it traveled through. Your partner was probably able to hear most of the song. The sweatshirt, however, was likely a better absorber. Your partner likely heard the song at a lower volume, maybe even muffled, depending on the thickness of the sweatshirt. In your home, carpets and curtains help to absorb sounds and slow the vibration of sound energy. So there is a common example of this in the wild to an animal known as the bat. If you ever heard this phrase, you know that bats have poor eyesight. Bats actually use sound waves or echolocation to see while flying. Bats can tell what objects are just by listening how sounds are reflected. They emit a sound that travels out and then back to them. If sounds are reflected quickly, they know to change direction. Bats can even find insects they feast on using the sound waves. I hope you all have enjoyed this experiment and stay tuned until the next scientific experiment.
Until later. Bye now.